Now, ponder this question. What is your role in the school? What is your role in the family? What is your role in the community? Do you have an answer now on your mind? Just a simple answer on this question. What is your role in the school? What is your role in the family? What is your role in the community? I am asking you this because our next topic is all about the functions of communication. After knowing that there are elements of communication, communication takes place when two people transfer knowledge from time to time. How do you use communication? And we're going to answer that question by discussing the functions of communication. The first function of communication is to control. To control means to exercise restraint or direction formally or informally. This happens particularly among members or acquaintances. To make it simple, to control behavior, just like a teacher. When the teacher imposes a policy in the classroom, that is controlling behavior. When your friend is really noisy and you are calling your friend, another friend, or your parent, you would say, please be silent, or just shut up. That's an example of control. You want him to keep his mouth shut. That is what we call as control. The direction could be formal when it is really written, or it could be informal when someone speaks about something, when someone gives a rule or a regulation verbally. So, this happens again, particularly among members or acquaintances. In order to have a smooth procedure, in order to have a smooth relationship, people try to control behavior. Just like in a city, in a government, in a community, we try to control behavior through communication. The next function of communication, you can also use communication by expressing your emotions or emotional expression. Communication makes possible the release or unloading of emotions, resulting in catharsis. That's the beauty of communication. You can express yourself. Not all the time you can keep all the emotions that you have inside you. You have to express it. You have to share it. And how could you share your emotions? By communicating. So it's really important that you know that there are people who would like to listen to you, and you can unload your emotions to them. Negatively, positively, for as long as you can share your emotions to them. Remember that you are a social animal. And social animals, one of the characteristics of a social animal is they express their emotions to the same species. So you have to look for someone whom you can trust. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, and unload all the emotions that you have inside you. Because if you could not be able to share it, that might kill you emotionally and physically. That is also one of the leading sources of depression. People who kill themselves have not been able to share their thoughts and feelings to other people. So they tried to keep all those emotions inside them, and it led them to kill themselves. So again, communication is an emotional expression. The next one is motivation. The energy that influences a person's behavior in different ways to his pursuit of his goal or objective. Communication is not just about expressing. Communication is not just about controlling, but also motivating. It could be an internal motivation, which means you motivate yourself. It's still a communication. We call it as interpersonal communication. When you talk to yourself, when you motivate yourself, we call it still communication. And you also acquire motivation from people, from your parents, from your family members, from friends, from people whom you admired with. So communication can also function as motivation. There are people who love watching TED Talks, listening to podcasts because they want to be motivated. And how could they be motivated? Through communication. And the last portion of its function is what we call as information dissemination. It is the most basic function of communication that provides data and information for effective completion of tasks, solution of problems, and elimination of uncertainty. One good example is our government. Our government is disseminating information about COVID-19. And how would we know that COVID-19 is dangerous? It's through communication. It's through dissemination of information via Facebook, on your favorite social media, and even on your local governments. Meaning, communication is really important because if there's no communication, there might be no information to be disseminated to other people. And just imagine if our government has not disseminated the information about COVID-19, what would happen to the people? What would happen to us? So, it is really important that we know the essence of communication and its function. What's the role of communication in our family? We try to build relationship with friends and families through communication. What's the other role of communication in the community? We try to disseminate information through communication. So communication is everywhere. Communication is everywhere. And communication is used by everyone. If you have learned something about our topic for today, share it on your favorite social media by using the hashtag #OralCommSirDM, hashtag functions of communication. Thank you so much.